everybody, this is Patty and welcome. I just thought I would come on and do a live feed today. There's been a lot going on this week and I'm getting a lot of downloads from the divine, and excuse me if I sound a little low today. Trying to adjust, trying to block my rabbit because if he sees things going on, he may get a little antsy and make some noise back there. So if you hear something scratching, I don't have my kid in a cage, I have my rabbit. And I'm in a different space today for a certain reason, so I'll share that with you later. So hopefully, we'll get a couple people joining. And on Get Balanced 2020 this week, I did a couple of feeds, but not a whole bunch of feeds. And so just sort of waiting for a couple of people. I know a couple of people that were coming on that I talked to this week, and hopefully they pop on. If not, I'm going to have this recorded so that if you want to watch it later, you can do that. So what I got downloaded this week is we're in what's a lot of people don't understand this. So what we're in called right now is a Mercury Retrograde. And everybody's like, what the heck was that? I even said that when I started learning all this universe stuff. And so the Mercury Retrograde happens 4 times a year. And so what that means is, so that you understand what it is, if somebody does ask you, Mercury Retrograde is where the planet Mercury actually comes in line, and it actually stops and looks like it's actually spinning in reverse. That's where the retrograde part is. It's not. There's so many things out there that says, oh, it's in reverse. It actually isn't. It just sort of stops and looks like it's in a motion of retrograde. But what happens during that time, which we're in right now from, February 19th or something like that, to March 9th. So this is a part you got to remember, from now until March 9th. So when Mercury retrograde happens, then it basically is where things just are in a kerfuffle. Everything is in a kerfuffle. And what that is your communication gets really wacky and poor, a lot of conflict, a lot of arguments, a lot of fighting, a lot of just conflict. And it could be in your boss, it could be in your relationships, it could be in all kinds of stuff. And that's where one of the things that people that know about the retrograde, or we share with people that don't know, don't make any major decisions until after March 9th, because things are so wacky. In fact, computers, technology, lots of accidents and we've had them here in Portland, lots of accidents this week. So things can be just awry. For me, I can't actually touch the phone a lot or the computer a lot. It jumps all over because my energies are so wacky. And so that's what retrograde is. And during that time, we just say, be kind to yourself. Don't make any major decisions. Understand that if there's conflict arising, just sort of back down. This is not a time to make rash decisions, divorces and separations and all that kind of stuff. Wait it out. Try to see if you can actually work with each other in communication and go from there. But that's what Mercury retrograde is. And let me tell you, this one is bad. Not even I'm noticing it, but my daughter, oh my goodness. Accidents. We had a tanker over the road in Portland, stopped whole traffic both ways, and one way, I think. But came home the other day, 8 cars all over the place coming down one of the hills where I live. So there's a lot of stuff that is happening. So during the retrograde until March 9th, put that on your calendars. Just try to understand that if there's any conflict, anything in your life like that, it's happening because the planets, the way that they're aligned, which happens 4 times of the year, is causing it. Sort of like, and people are like, yeah, right. Well, it's sort of like the tides, the ocean tides, how they come and go. That's the pull of the moon and the earth, and all the alignment of what's going on. So if you don't believe that the planets can actually have a pull and a reaction to what is going on, then you need to sort of rethink that, because if you think about like the full moon concept, people start going crazy. It's sort of like, you know, sort of like that. So I just wanted to put that out there before I got started a little bit, because what I want to talk about, because what the Mercury retrograde also does is also can really play on our vibrations. And a lot of people don't understand what a vibration is. So when we're talking about vibrations, we're talking about high and low. And they're like, okay, well, I don't understand what that is. Well, high vibration is something of the light, something of positiveness. And I talk about this in my videos on YouTube. And so the positiveness is your high vibration. Your uplifting was where the light is, where, gotta fix my hair, guys. Where the light is, and all that kind of stuff. So, and your low vibrations are, and you could say light and dark. Okay, so you'll hear people say, well, you need to do shadow work. That's the dark side, the negative side kind of thing. And so when you're doing that, you have to understand what kind of vibration you're in and how to handle it and what to do with it or not do with it. So the reason why I am in my living room is because it's a beautiful day out. It's sunny. I could be outside, but I got a weird neighborhood and everybody listen in, and I really don't care about what everybody else does, but you know, I like to keep my living space, and they'd think I was nuts. Anyway, so there's a nice beautiful window putting in light, and so that brings my vibrations up. So this last week I have been pummeled. And when I talk about pummeled, I mean pummeled from the low energy trying to smash down the light energy. And so my dark side, or our shadow side, is just trying to, you know, the ugly picture of the monster just over you. That's sort of like what's going on. So I know that a lot of people might be going through this, and that's why I decided to come on live, and hopefully people will watch it and understand maybe some of the things that they're going through is temporary. It is going to change. You will get through this. We have lived through everything so far, and we're going to keep living through stuff. So with that said, when we're talking about a low vibration, for example, I'll give you some examples of myself this week. You know, my daughter started a new job. The accident on the road got her 50 minutes late. Now, some other students got kicked out of the class at 30 minutes, and this is the good vibration, the positive vibration. She was 53 minutes late. The teacher allowed her to stay. So that was a nice positive vibration from a negative vibration, a low vibration. But also too, sometimes our low vibrations are caused not only from ourselves, which a lot of the times they could be, from the decisions that we make or the things that we're not doing to lift ourselves up, but also from our circumstances around us, or even the people that we are in and around. So that's really a key thing, is who's in your life, who's keeping your vibrations up and not holding them and suppressing them down. Now, you can walk into a room with somebody with a low vibration, which basically means they're in a bad mood, they're grumpy, they're not happy, they're just kind of thing, and they can turn that whole room around and be in the same mood. That's energies. That's what I read as an empath. I can read energies, and let me tell you, it's really, really hard as an empath, because what happens with empaths is that we absorb some of those energies. And what's really, really hard is if we don't bounce them off, we are just drained. And so that's why you'll see empaths try to stay around positive people, like-minded people, people that are more geared for success, because we need to keep our vibrations high as we can be towards God, the light, whatever you want to call it. So like this week, and maybe like, and this is why I'm coming on, because somebody out there is having this kind of week. If everything is coming at you this way, and you just keep pummeled, then basically you just feel like drained, completely drained. That's the opposite of what we want to be doing. So what we want to do is get through that, and how do we lift up those vibrations? So this week, some of it was my doing, some of it was not my doing, and some of it is just what happens in the elements of our circumstances. So, you know, at my workplace, we had a kerfuffle, and it ended up in my vibrations dropping through the floor. I was just like, how do I raise my vibrations in such a negative, toxic type surrounding? And the thing is that they don't understand. The people that are not understanding empaths or that kind of lifestyle, then they would have no clue what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, or anything like that. They don't even have a clue that I can read their energies, or I can see and feel and go beyond what we actually see. So that really completely brought me down. And not only that, there was another thing that brought me completely down. So in those times that we all go through these things at some time or another, whether you're going through a divorce, a change of jobs, or you can't find a job, or something's happening with your children, or everything is coming all at once, which is even harder, we have to maybe learn a couple of things. And this is what I would like to help you with. So in order to get us out of that low energy or that low vibration, we have to do things mindful about our surroundings and the people that we're actually going to be interacting with. So for me, as an empath, I have had to learn that sometimes being in solitude is really not a good thing for most situations, but I have to surround myself with things that actually lift me up. So I didn't sleep well last night, and sometimes this causes us not to sleep well because your mind is working in other areas. I was in the ER this week, so I have still some residual of what's going on, so I couldn't sleep. So how do I actually lift myself up? So as I'm sitting here because the light is coming in, and it's from the sun, a lot of vitamin D, we don't get vitamin D from the sun, we absorb vitamin D from the sun. There's other things that go with that. Watch the nutrition on Wednesday. But we want to get in things that actually lift us up. If it's your day off and it's nature that lifts you up, go to the park. Even if you have to do it alone, and that's another subject for Mindful Monday, how we love ourselves and can do things alone, which we should be able to do. That should not be an uncomfortable feeling to be able to do things alone. So what you want to do is basically get out into nature. You need to maybe even take your shoes off and feel that earth, because the earth does have an energy. You need to absorb that. Get in the tree and take into the trees, take some deep breaths. If you're close to an ocean, take a drive to the ocean and just close your eyes and get into some deep breaths. Now, if you're not able to do that, and it's not, maybe you're at work and you're like, I want to frickin' quit. Take a walk outside just for a few minutes, get some fresh air, get away from those energies and just sort of brush them off of you. And then, just do your walk again. And then go back into work. And your mind should be just a little bit more lifted. So light is a really good thing. Nature is a really good thing. Sometimes if you have animals, I always have an animal around me. I lost 2. I still have my rabbit. He's not as friendly as I'd like him to be, but he's a little bit older, so it's a little too late with him. But I like to be able to touch and feel animals and get their energies and feel their energies and absorb their energies, because animals are innocent. They just want to love. Of course, they love you for the food most of the time, but animals are a really, really good thing. Another thing that you can do when your energies are low, and this is something that I had a couple people this week come to me and ask me, how do you do it? I did a video, I can't even remember what day this week, just a real quick one. And they're like, how do you do it? How do you get through it? Because they knew my energies were low and I was down, but I went on and I'm positive. Sometimes we have to just push through. Think positive thoughts. This is going to pass. This is temporary. This is not going to affect me in the long run, because at the end of the day, my Creator, God, the divine, has the last word of what is going to happen. I am going through this either for a learning process, or they're going through a learning process. Yes, at my expense, but this is what's happening. So those kind of things can actually help you in positive thinking. And that is the toughest. I'm going to tell you, and I'm right there with you some days. It's just you want to cuss them out and say all those things that you really don't want to say. You really know that it just brings everything down. But we're all human, and we're all wanting to just survive, get through this. And so another thing that I would say to help you get through this really low time is to find out and sit back, what is it? I mean, I was super angry yesterday because of a situation. I was betrayed, but I was also going through a situation where my validation was not being met. So I was angry. Was that right way to handle that? Maybe not. Maybe just trying to absorb what was coming in, stay quiet, and then go ahead and respond or not respond. So that's another thing, is maybe there's something that you need to just sit back, absorb, go away, think about it, and come back and respond in the proper manner, or just say, I'm not going to respond on that at all. So I'm going to turn a little bit here because I noticed the sun's coming in around a little bit more. So that's another thing. The last thing I would say, well, there's so many things too. I mean, I would love to talk to you one-on-one. You can always go to the website that I have on my link there and make an appointment. But another thing is to find that one or two people that you can actually vent, or not even vent, share, that you can get maybe some feedback on their take on it, because they're an outside person, but they also want to support and lift you up. And that's the thing we talked about this last week, is this person or people in your circle should be lifting you up and not pushing you down. If they're taking away, this was the live video that we shared, if they're taking away from you your purpose, your desires, your dreams, and they're saying, you'll never do that, that's not a person that should be in your circle. That person is keeping you more at a low vibration. A person keeping you at a high vibration is going to say, you know what? I think you can do it. I know you can do it. And in time, if that's what's meant to be, it's going to happen. So the thing is to have those people, those supportive people that you can lean on. And it's going to be very few, most likely, because really, if you sit back and evaluate all the people in your life who know you from top to bottom, inside and out, it's probably maybe one or maybe two, because we keep a lot of secrets inside of us. So when you're trying to get your vibration up, you need to have that supportive a supportive person to lean on. Maybe it's a spiritual person. Maybe it's another person that is of like mind. Maybe it's a person that is not family. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. Maybe you also, too, need to bring your vibration up. I know somebody that loves to work out and get that out. Sometimes I do, too, because I got to get that anger out. And sometimes expelling all that energy gets some of that adrenaline and all that toxic out. So that's another thing that you could do. So supportive people, nature, taking a drive in a beautiful area, of just stepping out for a moment at work to breathe, take a breath, those kind of things. And those things will help bring up your vibration. And that's what we want, what we want to do. And I just want to say that, you know, who's ever out there, because the reason why I did this video today was because somebody out there is in a dark, down place. We talk about depression. We talk about being down. Sometimes it's not in our physical capability to understand. And sometimes we might be down due to an ailment or a disease that's happening or something physical that we have no control of. And that you really need to have a support system and find out what's going to keep you motivated and keep you lifted up, because there is a purpose for everyone that is breathing today. Otherwise, you would not be here. You'd be horizontal. So there is a purpose. There is a reason for your purpose being here, even watching this today. And hopefully there's something in here that will be able to just sort of lift you up. Because at the end of the day, everybody needs to be loved, needs to be nurtured, needs to be cared for. And we need to do this first for ourselves. And that's one of the things I wanted to share today. Sorry, I'm getting a cold a little bit. And so the last thing I do want to talk about is, I know that fear brings your vibrations down. Oh my goodness. And fear is something that we talked about as well, and I will continue to talk about, because we cannot let fear live our lives for us, or through us. So fear is huge for most people. We all have a fear of something, somewhere, somehow. And then when we face that fear, it actually dissipates and goes away, and it brings our vibrations up. Fear keeps us down. In Christianity, it's the devil. The devil is going to keep us down. Because basically it's destructive. It's not constructive. It's not uplifting. It keeps you stuck, or it keeps you at a lower vibration. So when you live in fear, which my daughter and I had this conversation this morning, because we're in Oregon and we just heard that there's a case of the coronavirus, and my daughter is she loves to worry, but it is a very concerning thing, because she has 2 jobs, and in those jobs she does come around a lot of people. So we discussed, but not to live in fear, because then again you bring your vibrations down. And what happens is, when we bring our vibrations down, we get into actually an area where we can actually get sick easier. So, and I want to repeat that. If we keep our vibrations at a lower level, we can actually get sick easier, because we're not functioning at our full capacity at a positive energy. And so, yeah, we can get sick easier. So the important thing is, the coronavirus that is really becoming active, and businesses are possibly shutting down, and in the area, and they're already shutting down. For example, Disney shut down China, Japan, all the parks there. They're talking about shutting down LA and Disney World if it gets worse. And so, I mean, these are big companies, and it affects others. So there is a little bit of fear, but the thing is that, you know what, it is all going to be okay, as far as if you concentrate on yourself, preparing yourself for what you need to do to protect your family, maybe stay home more, maybe get masks, maybe to get food, because that's one of the sources everybody is afraid of it hitting, is our food sources, and then we don't have enough food and those kind of things. So the way to get rid of fear is face it, be proactive and not reactive. So what you want to do is go ahead and be proactive in that fear, and the fear begins to dissipate. So with the coronavirus and everybody talking about it, and the media media will hype in to put fear. If it doesn't bleed, it doesn't lead. That's media. I've been in it, and if it doesn't bleed, it doesn't lead. So they are going to do that, but they do want to keep, us informed, but they do throw a little panic in there, and that's because if it doesn't bleed, it doesn't lead. So protect your family, have discussions at your work. If you're in whatever industry you're in, is what's going to happen if there is an outbreak? Are we potentially going to close? What are we going to be able to wear masks? Or what is it that you can do to help you and your family? Maybe your family needs to be isolated away. Isolation is not good for low vibrations. Isolation actually is more destructive than it is, as depression is a very, very low vibration. It is actually more destructive than actually constructive and helpful to bring your light energies up. So in recapping this video, and I thank you for watching. Hopefully that will help somebody. I came on here for you, whoever it is, to try and help you get through your low vibrations, your downtime, or your depression, anything like that. If you really want more information, I'd be happy to talk to you one-on-one on how to persevere, how to lift up more, and some techniques that you can do to help you that works for you and fits your lifestyle. I would love to do that. Just go to my website, Get Balanced 2020, push that little button that says programs and appointments, and then you can go on there and see what works for you. And then or just contact me through email and we'll work something out. All right? Make sure that you like and share, please, if you're watching this, because it really helps us who have Facebooks to help people out here to grow, not only in Facebook, to help others as well. So please share this with your friends and your family. And if you have any other questions about vibrations, there are places on Google that you can go on to. Or if you feel more comfortable contacting me, I would love to talk to you one-on-one. That's not a problem at all. So please just get a hold of me. And my rabbit stayed quiet the whole time. He's such a little cutie. He's a good boy, but he loves those wires, let me tell you. Anyway, you guys have a great Saturday. I love you, and keep those vibrations lifting up. Go on getbalance2020.com, or you can go on to my actual Patty Hall site for any sessions, nutrition, fitness, and any sessions as far as intuitive, and if you just need to talk. All right, I love you guys. Have a great Saturday. Thank you for watching, and enjoy, get some sun, get those vibrations up. Love you.